Well, if it isn't another Red Dead Online monthly update that isn't nearly as good as the last, we're back to mediocrity here in Red Dead, sort of. It's not a great monthly event, but you can still salvage it if you want to, and so today on the show, we're going to be breaking down all of the best ways that you can capitalize on all of the golden money bonuses that we have this month in the game. I do believe that no matter where your interest in this game may be and where they may lie, you can either just relax and play for your own enjoyment and still stack some currency, or if you're a hardcore player like myself, you can also take the more grindy approach, and overall just by being smart with running these missions and engaging with these activities, and also by selectively picking and choosing where to focus your efforts, you can make a pretty solid amount of gold money and XP this month in comparison to the last monthly event that we just had, which was incredibly overpowered and amazing. So with that being said, let's get started. If you enjoyed this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2, then please consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. We have a bunch of money methods to jump into, so I want to fly through the ones that are kind of more minor, then we'll talk about the big one at the end. So first, we do have double money and XP on Call to Arms. Normally, you'll make about 1 gold bar, approximately $300, and around 2,000 XP for completing all 10 waves, but with double money and XP, it's going to be 1 gold bar, $600, and about 4,000 XP in just about 45 minutes to an hour here. Of course, when there's a gold bonus, that's when it's really good to farm the early waves over and over and just keep killing yourself at about wave 4 or 5 and replaying those early waves to farm double the gold every 15 or so minutes, and that's really smart. But when it comes to money making, you can't really do that because you can get a decent amount of money, I guess, per wave, but you really only get the really good money payout when you complete all 10 waves. So Call to Arms with just double money and no gold bonus isn't absolutely amazing, but it is still pretty solid, of course, if you want to switch things up and things like that. You just don't want to abandon the job if you're looking to farm the early waves, because then you'll get put on that 48-minute cooldown timer, which of course defeats the purpose of farming those early waves for the quick golden money. I would say that early wave farming method is better when there's a gold bonus, like I said, but nonetheless, as it stands this week, if you're just looking to complete all 10 waves, get the $600 and 4,000 XP, that is not too bad of an opportunity, and overall it'll just add some variety to your gameplay. Now jumping in, we also have quadruple money and XP on all horse races in the game. Without any sort of bonus here, the amount of earnings you can expect from horse racing in Red Dead Online would normally be about $50 an hour, 850 XP an hour, and about 40 gold nuggets per hour. And with quadruple money and XP, you can expect that to be about $200 an hour, over 3,400 XP per hour, and then of course about the same amount of gold. Now I don't really recommend players take part in this unless you literally just plan on AFKing in races for a month, which some players do and they still do, and the playlists are totally screwed because of that. However, I could see this becoming a decent bonus if it stacks with the double money and XP on the featured series, because that would be 8 times money and 8 times XP, which would just honestly be kind of overpowered for horse racing. But nonetheless, that is the third bonus we have to talk about. This is basically only going to be helpful for brand new beginners, but unfortunately there's no double gold with the featured series this month. That would definitely make it more interesting and make it more worthwhile. But nonetheless, with double money and XP, that'll be about $45 every 9-minute featured series game mode with the double money and XP. Like I said, ideal for players basically who are brand new to the game and they just want to quickly earn extra money and a little bit of gold to embark on their bounty hunting journey or whichever role they would like to buy first. Basically, do this instead of doing your normal stranger missions at the beginning of the game and at the beginning of your playthrough, or the blood money crimes or contracts to start. And then we also have double gold, money, and XP on all Land of Opportunity story missions. This is the best bonus I think we have out of the entire month. This is definitely some of the more overlooked and probably underplayed content, and it's really fun too. These online story missions introduce you to the entire narrative of Red Dead Online. You get to understand all of the Red Dead Online lore, you meet some extremely memorable and awesome characters, and you get to go on some awesome adventures with them. And so with the usual golden money payout, 12 minutes is that optimal amount of time that you should spend. That will yield you about the $45 as well as 64 gold nuggets instead of the usual 0.32 gold or 32 gold nuggets for the usual 12 minutes spent that you would get on some type of content. Rather than just sit there and tell you more about why you should engage with this opportunity in terms of the online story missions, I have an idea here. Let's jump into a fun mission and play through it live so you can see firsthand why this is actually a fun way to earn some extra and double gold and money this month in Red Dead Online. This may be one of my favorite online story missions. This is Bring a Goddamn Posse, and this mission is just so much fun.
But your new friend, the Marshal, he's having problems, more problems, with your even newer friend Montez. They're in the sheriff's office in Valentine. He asked me to ask you if you can bring a goddamn posse and come armed. Can you do that? Yeah, I thought you could. Best get going.
So of course we need to head on over to Valentine. That is exactly what we're going to be doing here. You guys have to check out this next cutscene. It is honestly just so funny. I love Tom Davies in this mission. This is kind of like midway through the storyline, so of course there may be a couple of spoilers for you guys who haven't gotten this far, but you know, the game's been out for a while, so hopefully everyone who's had an opportunity to play through the online story missions has done exactly that. With that being said though, all we need to do is go over to the Valentine Sheriff's Office. We're going to meet up with Tom Davies and the Sheriff of Valentine, and then you're going to see this crazy gunfight that we get into here. And of course I fall right off the horse. I love that, ladies and gentlemen.
Tom, who are they?
They're with me.
Let me go.
Tom, not to put too fine a point
And
upon
I'll
it,
let you all
but we
live.
elect deep shit. Pardon my language. He's talking sense.
We're all adults here.
Sure as shit is shit. They'll be back until they've freed Montez, and we and every decent person in this town is dead.
You know what, Bob? Montez. I'm a man of many contradictions. Thought long and hard about a speech about ethics, about responsibility, about rule of law. Then I decided I'd just do this and hang the consequences.
You killed him.
No shit. So that's one less problem we gotta worry about. And what was the real problem in this town?
His boys will be back to kill us all.
Then we better get prepared. These are the folks.
We better get prepared indeed. Let's just start. Basically, you got to choose a bunch of these gunners and bring them to certain positions because they are going to help you defend Valentine. And let me tell you, it is going to be quite an incredible gunfight we're about to get ourselves into. So it only makes sense that I wear the Arthur Morgan Haraway outfit here. You just keep choosing members. You know, you can kind of just place them wherever you want. Usually with each NPC here, you get a choice of 2 different locations, and you just need to make sure they follow you over here. This lady is going to take a while. Why don't I tell you this? Why don't I speed this part up, and then we'll just jump right into the action after this. And now we must defend a position, and it is going to be quite crazy now. Probably what I'm going to do here is take a potent health cure. I'm also going to take a minty big game. We got to make sure we're protected, but it looks like the gang is all here. And now is where the fun begins in this mission, ladies and gentlemen. You could just go guns a-blazing. I guess, honestly, this mission is like most similar to Call to Arms, low-key, just because of the fact enemies are approaching from the same spawn points and direction as the enemies of Call to Arms. You can see that the enemies are kind of spawning and coming from the same directions as the enemies in Call to Arms. But, you know, there are quite a few. I would say there's no super crazy challenge in this one like you would see in Call to Arms, because of course you get the war wagons to show up and all that. But honestly, nonetheless, if you're not careful, you can find yourself in kind of sad situations where you'll get shot. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're a new player who hasn't experienced any of these missions before. You know, I think you may find it a nice little challenge for your level. Long-time players, I think they could breeze through these just fine. You could do this solo as long as you just have like an extra Xbox or PlayStation, or in my case, a PC to start these missions. You don't need to play on the other account or anything. They just need to connect with you, because unfortunately you can't actually load into these solo. You do need to matchmake, or of course have a friend in your posse with you. And now, since I'm over here, I gotta go defend the east position as well. Just a few more guys to clear out. Not too big of a deal here, but you'll see in a second kind of what happens. There will be a war wagon that shows up, which kind of spices things up a little bit. But I do like farming these story missions. I truthfully have not played one of these in so long, just because of the fact that in my case I would need to load up with like a friend or something like that, but I don't have any friends who would play Red Dead with me on PC. You know, usually I'm just playing like Warzone or something like that with my buddies, who usually just hang on one game, and trying to get them to play some Red Dead and GTA with me, but not a bunch of them love too much PvE content. They're more fans of like PvP style games. We're taking a lot of damage here, so definitely take a potent health cure when you need. I think as long as you stock up on some minty big game and potent health cures for these types of missions, you'll be good to go. This definitely isn't the hardest online story mission we have, but it is one of the most fun in my opinion. And let's just headshot this last guy. Boom, there we go. Now we have another cutscene. Get ready for this. This is gonna be pretty crazy right here.
I'm afraid this isn't over yet. There. Dear Lord.
It's a war wagon. So once the war wagon shows up, we're gonna need to sneak up on it. Usually you can flank it and then start throwing some dynamite at it. And of course, this is where it may be pretty challenging if one of your players with you dies, because then you'll be drawing all the fire of the war wagon, which is definitely something you're gonna want to avoid, because this thing kind of does have kind of crazy range. You can see here, it's gonna be hard to get kind of close to it, but we are gonna be able to do it. Okay, we did actually. You could also just shoot the guy out of the war wagon. If you guys have played through the Carmela Montez Legendary Bounty, that works just as well, because you snipe Carmela Montez out of there. So you still need to blow up the war wagon by throwing dynamite at it, but you can shoot the driver out, which is big news. And you know what I'm gonna do? Look how many enemies there are. I'm gonna throw some dynamite at these fools first before I start taking too much damage. Oh my god, they all blew up. That was crazy. There's just carnage going on right now in the streets. Look at all of these dead bodies. Holy. I would say in terms of the damage that you take from these enemies, I'm not sure what to compare it to, because it's not like ruthless difficulty content. It's not like 5-star legendary bounty content. It's probably something more along the lines of like a gang hideout or something that just deals slightly more damage to you than, you know, normal enemies you'd find out in the free roam during missions or whatever. But we took out all the fleeing enemies. And there you go. And basically, with that said, that is the mission right there, ladies and gentlemen. Really fun.
And Montez died in the conflict.
Exactly. He, died in the conflict. Thank you. Thanks to all of you.
In towns, it's sheriffs that run things, but we help out where we can. Thank you. You've been a great help in all this business. It's been my pleasure. I hope to see you again.
I hope to see you too, Tom Davies.
Well, thanks again.
You're welcome, Sheriff. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the mission. So definitely take advantage of the opportunity for double gold, money, and XP on the Land of Opportunity story missions. Remember, you need either a friend or some posse member that you matchmake with to play through this content. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, you can make the most of this month. Drop a like if you guys did enjoy today's video, or if you just found it helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Make sure to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I live stream Red Dead Online as well as GTA Online on my Twitch several times a week. Love to have you out as part of that community. With all that being said, have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.